you were one of the first big commits of when Dan Lanning was named head coach here, and I'm curious, what was kind of sort of the vision, and what did he pitch you on, and now a couple of years later, like how has that kind of matched the reality of what things are?
What he, what he pitched to me was what's happening right now.
Perfect.
Obviously from Illinois' defense and their front seven specifically.
I think they're a really great group. Pretty experienced, play with a lot of pride for their school, and I think they'll be a great challenge for us.
Them to have success specifically on pass downs.
Oh, definitely his speed. Just taking advantage of what's given to him.
What made them successful defensively at getting to the quarterback? Seems like they have a lot of pressures, a lot of sacks.
They're really just very active rushers, never give up. So I feel like we're just gonna have to outcompete and take care of business.
What's been your process of growing as a run blocker? Because I know when the team out west thing they did a couple weeks ago, they talked about like one of the go-to plays was running behind you to the left. Like,
yeah.
Obviously that speaks to your growth there, but what's kind of been the process of getting to that point where you can be a focal point there?
Keep my feet in the ground, shooting my hands. You know what I mean? Keep my head up, not diving into stuff, and just trying to, it's a little bit of balance to it.
Strength too.
When you take advantage of how they play it too. But yeah, I guess I'm not saying Willie Love don't get me right, so
When you guys have gone ones-on-ones in practice, what's it like going up against your guys' defensive line? And like, how would you describe them to somebody else?
I don't think there's a better front in the nation, in my opinion. But that's why that's why I feel like we've gotten so much better over the year, because like when you go against everybody that we go against on defense every day, it's like it tends to transfer into the game. So
is it their size, their physicality? Is it technique?
When you have really big, fast people running at you all day, that's definitely makes you better, because that's what you're going to end up seeing on Saturday. So
Mateo's had to step into maybe a bit of a different role with Jordan out. That probably doesn't come as a surprise based upon what you'd seen in practice, but can you speak to just his growth and maturity as a sophomore to be in this position? You kind of went through the same thing last year.
Yeah. Mateo's that dude, man. I ain't gonna lie. There's probably nobody I've like seen come in and just work the way he works. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's people that work all around, but for him to be more like a smaller edge guy that they talk about, and then he moves inside, does work on the inside, like he can play anywhere you want him. He's going to cause havoc. So, and there's not a lot of dudes at his size with his speed and his ability that really does what he does.
What made Rashad so successful, being inserted into the starting lineup midway through the year?
Yeah.
And just how's that clicked so well for him?
He's an experienced guy. He's played a lot of ball. So I think once he finally got his shot, like, it made him more confident, and he's on it. He's rolling now. So.
And how did that help just the overall unit click as well? Because shortly after that,
Yeah.
you guys seemed to play consistently better.
Yeah, I feel like because of how much we switch groups through camp, like you get the 10, there's a way of working with everybody. You know what I mean? Especially with how much we switch up groups during camp. So now it's like all right, we work together for maybe a week or two during camp, so it's like back to the basics.
The offense always gets so much of kind of the shine. Does it mean anything to you guys when the defense is able to get a shutout like last week?
It's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's like there's always pressure when you go out on the field, but there's no pressure that like you have to score on this drive. You know what I mean? But they put on the show, and I hope they can continue that.
Being on a team like this, when every time you do film, it's a super tactical approach. Are you ever able to just watch football for fun, or is there always a tactical mindset?
I guess Sundays for sure. Sundays I wouldn't say I watch for fun though. Like even then, like when I watch on Sundays, I'm like, oh, we run that, or that's what our defense does. You know what I mean? So it's like you're always kind of aware of it when you watch so much. So.